Hello and welcome to the Night Feed. I'm your host, Charlotte, here to bring you some comfort, camaraderie, and conversation and keep you company during, let's face it, one of the toughest parts of being a new parent, the Night Feed. Tonight's unpaid sponsor is workmen eating their lunch in their big white vans in the mother and baby parking spaces. Is there anything that enrages you more when you go to the supermarket with your baby or toddler and you can't find a baby or toddler space? Especially when you have to get out of the car with a rather large 37 weeks pregnant baby bump. This happened to me the other day and I don't say anything and I feel like I should. I feel like I should go up, knock on the window and go, "Hi mate, did you see me just struggle getting out of that tiny, tiny little space with my baby, with my toddler, and my bump?" But I don't. I just chicken out and go in the space. But I feel like next time it happens, I might actually say something because it's so tricky, isn't it? Maneuvering a toddler or a baby out of a normal parking space, particularly if you have a wide car. It's like, and a baby bump. It just infuriates me. And they're there sat eating their lunch like they've got no care in the world in these parent spaces. Just like, come on, guys, use your brain. But anyway, I just needed a real rant on that. It really, really, really got to me. I actually have something really exciting to share tonight. So a few weeks ago, a brand reached out to me to do a collaboration on the podcast. Now, since starting this podcast, I have had a few advertising opportunities, but I've been very picky. And I haven't gone with them until now because I only want to share things with you that I genuinely love. So the brand that reached out to me is called Thermometer, and they have a smart ring. And this came at such a coincidental time because I've been looking at smart rings for, I don't know, a good few months now. And you've probably seen there are a few options out there on the market. And I've been comparing them and weighing up whether to get one or to go with a watch. Now, I've had watches in the past and I don't love them. I find them a bit annoying. I find that they get in the way a little bit, which is why I've been drawn to the rings. So fast forward to a week ago and Thermometer have gifted me a smart ring to try. And you know what? It's been really insightful already. For the main insight I wanted to see at the moment, which is sleep. If you'd have asked me a few weeks ago how much sleep I get, I'd have said maybe 6 to 7 hours at a push, with all the waking, the toddler bed swapping, and pregnancy insomnia, you name it. However, the other night I got 8 hours and 40 minutes. 8 hours 40. I'm a parent of 205 and I got 8 hours 40. Side note, if you are struggling with a newborn, there's the proof it gets better. So I went on the app and I thought, this can't be right. And also, side note again, the app with this ring, with the Thermometer ring, is free. And a lot of the other rings out there require a monthly subscription for the app. So once you buy the ring, you've got the app and use of it, which I think is brilliant. And there was this full breakdown of the night that I slept allegedly for 8 hours 40. So I was in bed that night for around 9 hours, according to the app, and asleep for 8 hours 40. And I remember waking to go to the loo at about 2 a.m. And there that was, the little awake line for 7 minutes, then back into light sleep, and then back into deep sleep. And it shows the difference between the deep sleep and the light sleep. And I couldn't believe it. I was so pleasantly surprised. I've been averaging 7 to 8 hours or 7 to 9 hours sleep until last night when I got 5 hours 30, but we won't go there. The ring also tracks my basal body temperature. So it continuously monitors the temperature of your finger during sleep, and it provides a really accurate, consistent reading compared to like the traditional oral thermometers if you're looking to track your ovulation. So it's an ovulation tracker. And it obviously helps to predict your fertile window, which I'm not using at the moment, obviously. But if you are looking to conceive, or if you are looking to not conceive, people are using this as a form of contraception. So it's really helpful in that sense. It also monitors your steps, your heart rate, and your stress levels. And this was another insightful feature last week because I was having one of those weeks. It was 30 degrees on one of the days. I was ratty, and it felt like the girls were literally running rings around me. And getting up and down like a jack in the box when you're 37 weeks pregnant in 30-degree heat is no mean feat. They were falling over, they were trying to commit some terrifying feats in the garden, and I was just like, this is so hard. And I think I forget, like, I'm at the end of my pregnancy pretty much, so moving around anyway is difficult. So my stress level on some of them days was really spiking because I was running after them. I was stopping them from falling. I was getting agitated. I was getting ratty. And I was snapping a bit. And you know, you snap and you feel really awful. And you're like, I'm sorry, mummy's just tired. And I knew that my stress was heightened on those days. And there it was all in the app. And I'd gone into the red zone a little bit on one or two of the days. And then I went to a role play area, which I'll come to in a bit more detail in it later. But it's basically like a cafe where the kids can play in role play, like shops, post office. They have a vet, a doctor's, you name it, and the mums can sit and have a coffee. And I'm getting to the point now where at 2 and 4, they will just play, and it's like a revelation to me that I can sit and have a coffee. So in this particular play area, there was a birthing ball, you know, them big round rubber balls that you sit on when you give birth. I was literally bouncing on one of them for like an hour and a half while they played happily. So I went on the app to check my stress level, and there it was in the lowest area in the green. I even screen grabbed it to show my friend because I was that impressed. And she just texted me saying, don't move. So for the first week with the ring, I'm actually really impressed. It's great for tracking pregnancy health, like I said, fertility, ovulation, and a whole lot of other things. I'm actually going to do a section when the baby's here to see how much sleep a newborn mum actually gets. So stay tuned for that because I doubt it's going to be 8 hours 40, is it? If you are interested in getting one for yourself, head to thermometer.com, and that's spelled FEMOMETER.com. And I also have a 20% discount code. So you can use this on their website. It's all one word, the night feed. And I will leave a link in the show notes along with the code if you are interested. Like I said, my first week at the ring has been great, and I would highly recommend it. And take a look, see what you think. Okay, on to those confessions of a new mum. And this week, I'm actually reading some of the comments from a post that asks, tell me the most unhinged thing you did while pregnant. I mean, batshit crazy. So, as I'm 37 weeks pregnant, I stumbled across this post. I thought, oh, relatable. Not that I think I've done anything that batshit, really. But some of these comments are wild. So, let's start at the top. First one. It was lockdown and Tesco's wouldn't let me use the toilet, so I had a wee on the bread aisle. I mean, we're starting off strong tonight. Next one. I threw up at work because of a customer's name. Next one. I absolutely hate chocolate orange, but I slept with a Terry's chocolate orange egg next to my head every night because it helped my sickness. And then one day the dog ate it and I sobbed for weeks. I ate a kilo of carrots every day from the day of my 5-month scan to the day she was born. She had the most beautiful skin. A kilo of carrots. Wow, that is impressive. I would eat a 14-inch pizza 3 times a day with a burger meal every day for 9 months and gain 12 stone. I did this in all 5 pregnancies. It was like I was under a spell. What? Gained 12 stone. Oh my lord. That can't be real. Surely. That's a lot of food. I mean, I like my takeaways, but wow. Bus driver told me I couldn't get on with my milkshake. I looked at him straight in the eye, dropped the milkshake, then got off the bus. My husband found me sobbing uncontrollably in the bath because I was just so proud of Robbie Williams. I couldn't get enough of the smell of damp things. Sponges, loofahs, cloths. I discovered a leak under the kitchen sink at 6 months and never told my partner because he's a plumber and he would have fixed it. I used to sit with the cupboard door open when no one was home and just smell inside it. Weird thing is, when my daughter became a toddler, she developed a weird fascination with sponges, had to hide them all, or she would try and eat them. Like it was my fault for being a weirdo. Wow, there we go. There's some, wow, some of them are quite batshit, aren't they? That makes me feel really tame for having my, you know, McDonald's now and then, and my Indian takeaway now and then. Not 3 pizzas in a day and a burger meal. Wow, that is impressive. Okay, on to the emails. First one, I'm finding this really hard. Charlotte, tell me this gets better. When I was pregnant and getting the just wait comments, it really annoyed me. Just you wait till you never sleep, just you wait, if you think you're tired now, etc. While I would personally never say these things to an expecting mum, they weren't wrong. I got 3 hours of sleep last night. My baby and I were covered in sick this morning. He's gone through 5 outfits today because he pees everywhere during his nappy change. All I wanted to do today was straighten my hair for the first time after a month postpartum. I've eaten 1 meal today. My nipples are just about to fall off. I'm not complaining. I'm obviously really thankful, but please tell me this gets better. Yours, tired and on the edge. Oh, it is really hard them first few weeks. I'm going to be right back there with you in a couple of weeks. And it only dawned on me last night, actually, when we got into bed and Jason said, enjoy the sleep, babe. And I realised where we are going back to. And there is something about sleep deprivation that is just so physically difficult, isn't there? It's not normal to be that deprived of sleep, to be that deprived of time to straighten your hair, to be that deprived of having a shower or a bath. You pretty much are the constant care of that baby, especially if you're breastfeeding, which it sounds like you are with your nipples. You don't stop. You do not stop. And same for babies who are formula fed. It's constant. And when you're surviving on no sleep, or 3 hours is not much, and that 3 hours, let's remember, is broken, it does things to you. And it will make you feel so low. You might feel rage, you might feel anger, you might feel depression for some people. And it's completely normal. It's completely normal to feel that low. What I would say to you is it absolutely gets better. For me, those postpartum weeks are a blur now. I look back on them and part of me does remember, oh gosh, yeah, especially with our first, you think it hit you like a wave. And then with your second, you've been there, you're expecting the sleep deprivation, and you kind of are a bit more confident with things and you know what you're doing. You split the nights if that's what you do, and you're on it and you're a tag team and it's all good. With your first, it's like a haze, and it's just like this new, overwhelming feeling that you've never felt before. And it's completely, completely understandable to find it hard. But I will say you need more of the kind of just you waits that are positive. Like, just you wait till you sleep again. I got 8 hours 40, let's remember, the other night. And I'm only, my youngest is 2. It's not like I've got a 10-year-old. I'm still kind of pretty much in the thick of it. It does get better. They do start sleeping longer. And there's so many wonderful things to look forward to, like when they start smiling at you, when they start weaning, you don't feed as much if that's what's getting you down. There are so many positive things to look forward to. It's not just that, oh, you'll never get your sleep back, and oh, it's so difficult, and oh, people just love to scaremonger. But shut those out if you can. Remember that it is meant to be hard. These first weeks, they are hard, and it's finding the little joys. I spoke about this a few a few months ago now, about whether that's making yourself a nice coffee in the morning, having a nice breakfast to look forward to, treating yourself, going out for lunch, even that's with the baby, just doing things like that. I take my girls to the cafe up the road for lunch and it's lovely. We have a lovely time. We get out. It's good for me. I don't have to cook. We have a nice time. And I think with a newborn, these are things you can do to keep your spirits up. Make sure you're getting out of the house. Do not fester in the house. And I know sometimes it can feel like a lot of effort. Always get out if you can, even if it's just a walk in the park or, like I said, lunch. And if you have an Everyman cinema, it doesn't say where you're from actually, but I know if you have an Everyman cinema near you, they do a baby hour or baby cinema club, I think it's called. And you basically take your baby there. They have soft lighting in the cinema. They show recent, I think, films. And it's about £15. You get a coffee, a slice of cake, and you get to watch the film with the lights, like I say, slightly up so you can look after your baby. It's really chill, apparently. I'm definitely going to do it when the baby's here. I'm really looking forward to it. There's all parents in there, and if a baby cries, a baby cries. So it sounds like you need to do more enjoyable things for yourself and also try and get a little bit more help. It sounds like maybe even if it's just 30 minutes to try and straighten your hair, if that's what you want to do, if that's what's going to make you feel good, is having that time to yourself to have a bit of self-care. You need it. Mentally, you need that half an hour or an hour away for your and the baby's sake. And I know it's super, super difficult in the first few weeks because they just want you all the time. And I remember getting in the bath thinking, she's going to want to feed again in a minute. She's going to want to feed. And she was fine. And, if you've got your partner's there, if he can take the baby, you just have to, I suppose it's asking as well. I think I've come to this before. Sometimes as mums, we just, oh, we're fine, we'll crack on, we're all good, don't worry, we're good, we've got this. And it's like, yeah, but sometimes we have to ask. Sometimes people around us won't think, oh, I'll take the kids for a few hours, you rest. Sometimes you have to say, oh, please, can I just have an hour? Like I've done tonight, Jason's happily playing out in the garden with them. He loves it. Comes home from work and he plays with them. I'm so lucky. And I know not everybody has that. But sometimes you have to make sure you ask for it if you don't. And if that's not something that comes naturally to your partner or, to people around you, it's just about asking, saying, have half an hour, just going to go and have a bath. And demand that time for yourself because you will feel like a changed woman when you come out of that bath. So yeah, I think it's just a case of focusing on the positives, enjoying the little things in the day, even if that's like a nice coffee, I don't know, something that's just going to give you a bit of a spring in your step, and asking for help. And I hope that helps you. Remember, it gets better. You are in the thick of it right now. You're 4 weeks in. It is hard at 4 weeks. It gets better though. So stay positive if you can. If you feel really, really low, obviously it's worth speaking to somebody and getting some help. But if you think it's just because it's 4 weeks in and you're really, really tired, then I would say treat yourself and try and focus on a bit more joy in your day and getting out, and hopefully that will help. Next email tonight says, thank you for the potty training chat. Hi Charlotte. In response to last week's email about potty training, I also have a 2-year-old, and the amount of remarks I get from certain people asking why she's still in nappies just bugs me so much. I'm not going to be sending her to school in them, for goodness sake. I just don't think she's ready yet. I've tried and we both just get a bit stressed, so listening to your thoughts on last week's episode really helped. Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that helped you. I love hearing listeners respond to other listeners. It always brings me joy. And yeah, as with everything in parenting, it's your prerogative. As long as you've got your child's and your own best interests at heart, you block out everything else that's noise, unless there's a real concern, then that's someone trying to help. But when it's just remarks, which we all get from time to time, block them out and stay focused on what's right for you and the baby. Next tonight is a forum post which I found, and I just thought you might get a little bit of a chuckle from it. So it says, point of view, baby is napping. Number 1, look around at the absolute disaster that is your home and kitchen. Number 2, decide to sit down and make a to-do list. Number 3, start watching Instagram Reels. 4, decide to set a timer and start doing stuff in 20 minutes. 5, was that the baby? 6, okay, she's fine. Zone out for several minutes. 7, maybe I'll make a grocery list. Oh no, I'm hungry. 8, eat 11 peanut M&Ms while staring into the pantry. 9, more Instagram Reels for some reason. 10, the timer goes off. Can't remember why I set that. 11, lay in bed. Get super incredibly cozy in about 2 minutes. Oh, sleep. I long for it. 10, baby monitor lights up. Baby's crying. 11, will I learn from this? Absolutely not. I love that. It's so true, isn't it? I find when they nap, it's like, what do I do? It's like this constant dilemma of always having something in the house to do, always needing time to rest, always wanting to watch something or do something in particular. And it's just like, oh my God, you end up doing this, don't you? You end up just procrastinating and then nap time's over. So yeah, if you've been there you go. Next tonight is what's trending. And I keep seeing everywhere type A, type B mums. And if you don't know what type A and type B is, this is a very informal definition, but type A is like they always have a fully stocked nappy bag. They have the gorgeous Montessori toys at home in a very tidy, well together playroom. They know research and all the developmental milestones. They stick to a schedule. They have, like I said, a very tidy home considering they're a baby or toddler parent. Type B kind of flies a bit more the seat of the pants, usually has a bit of a messier house, snacks on the floor, no routine, doesn't stress about most things. And I think there's a lot of us out there that are type AB mums. Definitely. There are some things that I am type A about, but there are a lot of things, probably more things, I'm type B about. I would say I am in the more chilled category. Yes, I like them to have a bit of a nap routine because I think that's very important in terms of wake windows. So you can call me type A on that. But I find myself yearning for an immaculate house, but I kind of have accepted that I have toddlers and the laundry pile is always going to laundry pile and the dishwasher is always going to need emptying and there's always going to be plates, there's always going to be footprints in the hall. And I've embraced it. And I thought, do you know what? This is family. These are the times we look back on. And I came across this article and it was saying how type B mums and how type B parenting is the new kind of connection parenting. And it's almost saying that if you're a type A mum, it's easy to get bogged down by the minutiae of everyday parenting, tidy house, exact sleep routine to the dot. Now, I had a sleep routine, but I was never like leaving events or having to cancel plans or, weekends. The routine slipped. And yes, that might have meant a mixed up bedtime or whatever, but I would never let naps come between plans. In the week, maybe I would plan walks with mums around the naps. So yeah, in that sense, but going to events and things, the naps go out the window. So I think I'm type AB on the whole routine thing. But yeah, like I was saying with type A parenting, you can get bogged down by having everything just so and just perfect. And I think it can stress you a lot. And I think if you become more type B in that you let loose a little bit, it actually makes things a little bit more relaxed and potentially more enjoyable. Now, you might be listening thinking, I could never have a messy home. It would send me bonkers. So if you're one of those people, then you keep doing what you're doing. I'm just saying, if maintaining a tidy home and having everything just so in the routine nailed and everything is stressing you out, then maybe it is time to get a little bit more type B and unleash that inner chill that we all need as parents. Like Jason will say it to me, chill, babe, it's okay. The kids, I'll mop the floor stupidly on a night in the kitchen that we're going to eat rice. And the meltdowns I've had over rice covering the floor. And Jason's like, babe, they're toddlers, they're kids, they're gonna make a mess. And I need that voice in my ears sometimes to like quieten the type A in me that's like, oh, the kitchen was just tidy. It's like, we are never going to have a clean kitchen for more than 10 minutes. It's the way it is. And he is great at like catching me in their moments. I mean, like, everything's going to be all right. It's just a bit of rice on the floor. Sometimes you need that as a mum when you're trying to accomplish everything, like the laundry pile. And I always talk about the laundry pile. It's never ending, my laundry pile. And you can get annoyed by it, and you can let these things bother you. And apparently there's this video on TikTok from a mum. It was now like over 35 million views, and it basically shows what life looks inside a self-proclaimed type B mum household. And there's mismatched utensils crammed into drawers, there's Tupperware cabinets that just explode open, and there's unstacked pans that never quite fit, and it's noisy and it's imperfect, but it's utterly joyful. And basically, it's like, instead of curated toy bins and colour-coded chore charts, the camera captures something a lot more meaningful, which is connection. In one shot, she effortlessly nails the rhythm of a toy whilst laughing in the background, and her kids aren't being micromanaged, they're being loved, and she's not fussing over messiness but soaking up the moment. And I think the more we can parent in the moment, the happier we are and the happier the kids can be. And I really think about this a lot at the moment, that these are the good old days. These are the days we'll go, oh my God, do you remember when we used to read them that book of a night? And bath time, when they used to splash all the water out and it'd drive me up the wall, but it was funny. And I think the more you think like that, sorry, I just used to think about 18 times in that sentence. The more you think like that, and the more you live in the moment and let the mud happen and let the mess happen, the happier you can be. So yeah, I think being a type AB mum, there's nothing wrong with it. We don't have to categorize ourselves into one of those lanes, is what I'm saying. Next is my self-care suggestion. And that is, I'm going to segue back to taking your baby or toddler to a role play centre. So, like I said, there are these places where it has a cafe and little kind of areas for your kids to play. It's all very self-contained, so you're not having to run after them like a soft play. And you can sit and have a coffee while they play. And for me this week, after last week, it's been like self-care. It really has. Just sitting, letting them play, and just watching, taking it in, enjoying my coffee, enjoying the sit, this heavily pregnant, because I need to do that. And I'd even stretch to being able to take a magazine, depending on the age of your children, because they played so well. It's all really safe. There was one mum there just breastfeeding whilst her toddler was playing with my kids, and they were fine. And I was just sat watching as well. And I think it's that chill that you need with an under 5 that you don't get soft play. Soft play, I'd have been bloody flapping around like a beached whale trying to chase them, which is just not practical when you're 37 weeks pregnant. So instead, I just enjoyed a coffee and watched them play, and I would highly recommend it. And I know I have a few local Manchester listeners, and I feel like my kids enjoys these places that much that I have to give them a shout out. So there is one called Little Explorers in Urmston. And then there's another one called Sprouts Club in Worsley. And there's also one called Happy Hour in the Lowry Outlet Mall. Now, this doesn't have a cafe, but they have little drinks, and they also do activities for over 5. So like you can paint things and do crafts, and it was really lovely in there. I've been there that many times. The lady knows me quite well now, and she always makes sure I sit down while I watch the kids. She's like, oh no, you're too pregnant to be chasing them now. But it's literally so contained, really easy to watch your kids, and I'd highly recommend all 3 of them. They start from about £5 per child. So the reasonable, it's like an hour and a half plus of playtime when you can enjoy your coffee. So yeah, finally to finish on a quote. Tonight we cried together, Mama. It was 3:45 a.m. and you were beyond exhausted. As you rocked me, tears streamed down your cheeks. I clung to your pyjama top, my safe space. We're 3 weeks into this journey together and I've never felt more content knowing you. Seeing your face, your features, after only knowing your voice and heartbeat for 9 months. When you cry and get frustrated, I know it's because this is all so new and overwhelming. It is to me too, Mama. I hear you beat yourself up about the mess in the kitchen, the laundry pile that grows every day, the hair you've not washed and the pyjamas you've not changed, but none of this matters to me. This is our season to be messy, to be tired, to be sad at times, but also the season you'll look back on and yearn to be in again. It's not all smooth, but our time spent together in the depths of the night now will one day be a hazy blur full of love. Thank you for listening this evening. I hope you enjoyed tonight's podcast. If you are interested in the thermometer ring, I will leave a link to their website below with the code. If you have any questions about it, feel free to email me and keep your questions coming in, keep your stories coming in, keep your advice coming in. I love this little community we're building. And yeah, I wish you all a restful, peaceful night ahead. And if baby boy makes an early arrival, then there might be a little baby on the next one. Good night.